Back from a week's break and ready to go racing at the Dover Motor Speedway. About to throw the green flag with Jason Fensler on the outside, Tristan Bailey to the inside. Shout out to the one and only Atlanta Racing, who broadcasts the ARCA side of AER. Now it's the truck race from Dover. Tristan Bailey with control in the 25 Chevy goods truck, waiting for the signal to kick off round 3. Let's go racing! Wreck at the back of the field coming through turn number 4 and the front straight. It looks like it's possibly Tyler Bellinger into that double 8. One of these trucks having some sort of malfunction, and possibly Sam Taylor in the number 1 Steel Chevrolet Silverado getting loose out of turn number 4, but we keep it pushing. Everyone keeps it moving in the right direction. Tristan Bailey at the front of the field, 3 laps into this race. Fastest lap of the night, 23.66 seconds. Hagen Joyner behind him in that second spot. Special Ed in the chat says there's a restaurant in Detroit called Mom's Spaghetti. It's got to be interesting. Tyler Bellinger, 619 in the chat, says playing it safe, not qualifying tonight. Bellinger finding himself sitting in 22nd right now, up 3 places from where he started. Atlanta Racing in the chat with knees weak Mom's Spaghetti. I'm a big fan of Eminem, and I know he is too. Atlanta, appreciate you so much, buddy. We actually had a fun little conversation over music here these past few days. Kind of interesting once you get to know all this man's talents. But check him out, twitch.tv/Atlanta Racing, and you can find him on Twitter at Atlanta Racing. That's where you're going to find this man's vocal artistry weaved in your favorite racing series. Sitting in third place in the number 7-8 Dubby Toyota Tundra, it's Waylon Turner. The black chrome and yellow Tundra from, how do you say that, Nacogdoches, Texas? Goodness. Anyway, he's sitting in third right now. It's a Chevy Toyota top 3. Jason Fensler coming up through the field in this number 5. Fensler already with 1 win this season, and he's 29 points above the cut line coming into this race. He's leading the standings with 89 points. Tristan Bailey sits second, 6 points behind him. Kevin Haas and Tyler Bellinger tied for third. Haas in the 19 currently running 15th, while Tyler Bellinger continues to make his way through the field. He just ran his quickest lap of the race, 23.68 seconds, and he's running down the number 27 Ghostbusters Chevrolet of Chris Fathke. Fathke behind Quentin Stewart, 1 truck making a move there. Looks like the 1-4 of Randy Lapidus in the Nathan's Hot Dog F-150 to the inside of the 98 truck, Michael Newton. I was going to say Patrick Jenks. Jenks is further up ahead. That's Newton in the 98, who's got Quentin Stewart up the trumpet through turns 1 and 2. Stewart now trying to hold off Chris Fathke in that 27. You're looking at 16th through 17th. The 11 truck of Stewart sends it in deep. Everyone trying to weave their way around him. The 9-8 of Michael Newton now trying to get it together, scraping along the outside wall down that front straight. And that 9-8 has seen better days in the autism awareness Toyota Tundra. Newton falling outside the top 20 now has an uphill mountain to climb. Massachusetts native has got 120 laps to figure it out. At the front, the top 2 are split by 0.2 of a second. Tristan Bailey leads Hagen Joyner. It's a single file party. It's a Chevrolet top 3. Round 1 winner Jason Fensler in the number 5 Fensler Racing truck. looking to get to the inside of Hagen Joyner in that very pretty Alani number 7. Gotta ask him what that's all about. No idea what Alani is, but if we get a chance, we're gonna interview the 7 and ask him. Outside the top 3, you're gonna find Waylon Turner. There's Charlie Mosley Jr. in the Monster Energy Silverado. He's ahead of Michael Carter in the 6th. Running 6th, the Mahindra Ford, looking to make his way further up the points. The Alabama native comes into this race, trying to break into the top 10. But Carter's got a long way to go in that 6, having a good race so far. Adam Boughton coming up behind him in the Mountain Dew Kickstart number 94. Matt L. says, Rick James, we need to meet up. There's been a crash before we get there. Everything that goes up will come down at Dover. And it came down on Chris Fathke, who's been caught up. Randy Lapidus in the Nathan's Hot Dog. Looks like his truck's been wrapped in foil and smoking like it's ready for sale. Lapidus rather cooked at the end of that crash, and a few trucks coming down pit road. Caution number 1 flies 14 laps into this race, and if you've just recently tuned in, I'm Rick James. You're listening to myself, and you're watching the American Elite Trucks. Let's see what happened. Andrew Teft, Quentin Stewart, a lot of trucks involved in this lucky number lap 13 crash. That's the 38 of Patrick Jenks on the outside, and there's the mess, starting with the 23 and the 29 truck involved. That's Kelly Mellinson in the 23, and the 29 belonging to Bobby Mathis in the H&M Racing truck. Let's have another look with Mellinson, the 2-3 champion machine. Contact from the 29 of Mellinson. 19 of Haas going end over end comically. Well, at least being vaulted into the air, nearly flipping. Randy Lapidus had a front row seat to this one. Let's have a look with Robert Mathis in the 2-9. Kind of late there. One more look aboard the cockpit of the 2-9. Just looked like the 23 tried to get a good entrance. I won't say the 23 came down. It's just so hard to tell. Let's see if we can get a good look from the blimp, possibly, with the 23 of Mellinson. Bad view of the hotel. One more look with Mellinson here. Oh, this is Jenks. Let's have a look with Mellinson. Well, your call, but either way, it brings out a big crash and the first caution of the evening. Tristan Bailey's being scored as the race leader 16 laps into this one. Jason Fensler sits in second. Hagen Joyner is in third position thus far. Those are your top 3. Let's see if we can bother Tristan Bailey for just a quick word. Tristan Bailey, Rick James up top. You got me?
Alright, he scared me. Yeah.
Good to hear from you, buddy. You're leading this race so far, 16 laps in. We said during that crash, what goes up must come down at Dover. Lucky to be ahead of that accident, but it's still close racing at the front. What have you learned in these early 16 laps?
Not enough, honestly. I mean, like I said, I wish it was a little bit longer so we could have went and took tires, see what tires were at, but we decided to save the set like everybody else up front did. We're just gonna try to run it out and see what we can do on long run.
You're second in points coming into this race, but still winless coming into round number 3. Are you more concerned with getting the W or just being consistent?
Just want to be consistent and be able to finish the race, honestly, because both weeks in here I'll be running up front and something will happen and I end up having to drive back up to the field and finish top 5 or somewhere around there. But I mean, you know, can't be choose when you can't be picky when you're not choosing. You know?
We're going to let you get back to work here, buddy. Keep the shiny side up. Good luck.
Thank you, Rick.
And we're going to let you. The Missouri native has control of the field coming to the first restart on lap 17 going into 18. Jason Fensler, the points leader, is on the outside waiting once again for the green flag to restart this race. Waylon Turner on the outside of row 2. Hagen Joyner to his inside. There's the jump from Bailey. Green flag is out. Tristan Bailey leading the first lap after restart, but he's not without company. Points leader Jason Fensler to the inside. The round 1 winner going for the lead early on in this race. Trying to lead the 19th lap of competition. He's got the lead out of turn number 4. Will Bailey attempt the crossover? No. New leader in the number 5, Jason Fensler. Tristan Bailey sitting in second. Hagen Joyner in third, with Waylon Turner trying to take the position away from the number 7 truck. Charlie Mosley Jr. rounding out the top 5, and it looks like it's single file all the way back to Sammy Harrell in the number 43 STP Chevrolet. We were talking to Matt about meeting up for a beer when that caution came out. We most certainly do. Tell you what, why don't we say that a year from now at the Darlington Throwback Race. We'll meet up for a beer. Atlanta Racing's also in the house. Special Ed's in the house. Mama Vols, Tyler B. Fatals in the house. Everybody in this chat so far. We're 22 laps into this race. Jason Fensler has the race lead, with Tristan Bailey holding on by 0.2 of a second. Hagen Joyner sitting in third. Randy Lapidus making headway after being involved in that accident. Lapidus is in 27th. Now chasing down John Holiday. Special Ed cheers 200 bits in the chat. Thank you, Edward. Appreciate you, my friend. Love you, buddy. Thank you so much for tuning in. 2 weeks ago, round number 2, Nick Goen got the win in that number 8 GST Spider Chevrolet Silverado. He's going for 2 wins in a row at the Monster Mile. He sits 9th right now behind Tyler Bellinger, who did not pit during the last caution. None of the top 12 drivers came down during pit road, but it doesn't seem to be any hardship for Tyler Bellinger. The number 88 Quality Care F-150 goes to the inside of Waylon Turner, and he's chasing down Jamie Haynes for a spot in the top 6. Let's ride it in the cockpit with Bellinger. He's sitting 7th, up 18 places. Bellinger chasing down Jamie Haynes for a spot in the top 5. The Advance Auto Chevrolet trying to hunt down Charlie Mosley Jr., who's 1 second off the top 3, but the top 2 have really been the class of the field. 27 laps into this race. Jason Fensler sits ahead of Tristan Bailey. Hagen Joyner is in the 3rd position. 2.3 seconds off the top 2. This is what that gap looks like. There's Joyner in the 7. There's the 25 of Tristan Bailey. Possibly just saving in stuff, trying to see how far these tires are going to go. Track facts say 30 to 40 laps is a pit window. Some drivers estimate 40 to 50 laps on one set. And there's the caution. Chris Fathke has gone around, and the Idaho driver in big trouble. There's the Ghostbusters Chevrolet, who's gone for another wreck. Who are you going to call, Chris? Because the Ghostbusters won't help you here. Let's have a look and see what happened to the Boise State fan on lap 28. Fathke to the outside of that 2-2. Is there contact? And it is the Hulk Smash 22 of Randy Bousquet. The Massachusetts fan pulled a Hulk Smash. Let's have one more look. This is on the outside of one. Watch that yellow 22 of Randy Bousquet. Just goes in really low in turn number one. Drifts right up the track. And Chris Fathke wrapped up in that one. It's right along with the 27. You just saw the corner of the 22 reach up and grab the 27 of Fathke. So caution number 2 comes out. Chris is going to have some repairs to do while everybody is coming down pit road. How do you like that? So while everybody's coming in, they're going to take a break, and so will we, fans. Don't go anywhere. You're watching AER from iRacing's Dover. Caution flies over the now Dover Motor Speedway, what was once Dover Downs, then Dover International, now owned by the same company as the world-famous Charlotte Motor Speedway, Atlanta Motor Speedway, Texas, Bristol, so on, almost any track you can think of. Dover Motor Speedway playing host to horse racing as well. But it wasn't always a concrete mile. In 1995, they changed the racing surface from asphalt to concrete. This became the first concrete paved super speedway for NASCAR. And it's been that way ever since. Getting ready to restart. Sammy Harrell on the outside gets a great jump in that 43 STP Chevrolet. We're racing again. Randy Bousquet immediately jumping to pits. There's been an incident for the 22 once again. Let's have a look here. This is Bousquet just wiggling, losing control of the 2-2. Sliding all the way down pit road. Look at the 9 truck. John Holliday able to avoid him. Bousquet jumping to pits immediately after that. Tristan Bailey now your race leader in the 2-5 Chevy Goods Silverado. He's your new leader. Sammy Harrell sits in second. He's up 13 places from where he started. Harrell hasn't pitted since lap 14, so we'll see how far the tires go for the STP Chevrolet. Jamie Haynes, he pitted during that last caution. Haynes is up to third right now, up 9/10 on round 2 winner Nick Gowen, who's got points leader Jason Fensler now chasing him down out of turn number 2. Adam Boughton in that 94. He's trying to hunt down the number 6 of Michael Carter. Dylan Picklesmeyer in the number 11. The 12. Don't know why I said 11, but the number 12. Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Pretty interesting paint scheme. You can see that thing from just about anywhere. I really like it. Keystone Corner in the chat says, we aren't out of this yet. That would be Patrick Jenks in the number 38 truck. He's running 22nd so far. Jenks trying to catch up just a bit to John Holliday. 6 seconds off that pace. And the number 9, Ryko Chevrolet. Nope, that's a Toyota, my bad. The number 9, Ryko Toyota. In a group of 5 Toyotas nose to tail, starting with Tyler Tyone in the 80. He's behind Joe Nelson in that 76. Debbie Hutchins, the queen of Carrollton, Texas, in the 82, gets to the inside of Michael Newton in the 98. Newton slow out of 4, almost down into the 11 truck. Everybody weaving around the Autism Awareness Toyota Tundra. There goes the 14 truck, who gets their way around the 9-8 of Newton. Newton currently running in the 21st position. Half a lap down, Patrick Jenks, the next truck in 22nd. Chris Fathke involved in that recent caution, just rising up out of the corner, and you really do think some of these trucks might just hit the wall at the speed they carry out of these turns. That's Quentin Stewart in the number 11 Layman's Cup Toyota. Stewart's next, well, there's the caution. Caution number 3 is out. It looks like John Holliday's had an incident, and there is the 9 of John Holliday. Holliday being scored 21st right now, the number 9, Ryko Tundra. Having a bit of an incident. Let's have a look. On lap 41 is when this happened. Contact from the 1-4 of Randy Lapidus. And there's the 9 trying to save it. Look at the 98 of Patrick Newton. Michael Newton, I'm sorry. Michael Newton, not Patrick Jenks. The 98 of Michael Newton. Able to find his way around that. Let's ride on board here with John Holliday. Great first initial save by Holliday. Now watch this from Newton's point of view. Just missing that one. Let's see if we can see this from Randy Lapidus' point of view. No, it seems to be the lap prior. Let's try... Let's roll this one back. Just interested to see the move that Lapidus was trying on the 9, or maybe the 9 possibly lost the line. Let's have a look. I think both trucks were just going for that inside line. There's the contact, and Michael Newton just going to avoid the 9 here. Good heads-up play by Michael Newton to avoid the spinning number 9 truck. Newton getting out of that mess there, and that's going to earn a beaten and bruised Michael Newton his cold trickle move of the race.
Ice cream!
Give me some of that!
Michael Newton being scored 19th. At the front of the line is Tristan Bailey in the 2.5. Jamie Haynes in the 5.3. Currently running in second under this caution period. See if we can bother Jamie Haynes for a quick word. Jamie Haynes, Rick James, you got me?
Yeah, buddy.
You're sitting in second right now in the number 5.3 Advance Auto Chevrolet. You're looking for your first win this season. Tristan Bailey is one of the fastest trucks so far. How are you going to get around him?
I'm not even worried about that right now. I'm trying to just keep my tires under me for the next 50, 60 laps before I start worrying about that.
They say that this pit window is going to go from about 50 to 60 laps here, but the caution's coming few and far between. We're almost a quarter of the way through this race. Actually, more than a quarter of the way. We're almost a third of the way through this race, man. Are the tires really going to dictate who's going to win tonight, or is it more going to be just about possible timing?
That depends on if we keep getting cautions or not. If we keep getting cautions, I mean, most people should only have, most probably have 3 sets left. Some may only have 2, so it depends on how the cautions fall. If we go green, then it really won't. But if it have a bunch of cautions, it could cause a bunch of issues.
We're going to let you get back to work, and we're going to let you focus on winning this race. Keep the shiny side up, and good luck.
Thanks, buddy.
Jamie Haynes sitting in second. Tristan Bailey will have control when we go back to green. Don't go anywhere, fans. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Ready to go green. Tristan Bailey on the outside line. Jamie Haynes on the inside line. We're going to restart on lap 45 into lap 46. Restart number 3. Truck 2.5 with an amazing jump. There's the green flag. Finally, Jamie Haynes in second, and we're racing again from the Monster Mile. Tristan Bailey with a grand lead, 0.8 of a second over Jason Fensler sitting in second. Fensler has Jamie Haynes behind him in the number 5.3 Advance Auto Chevrolet. Hagen Joiners in fourth. 2 weeks ago, the victor at his home track at Atlanta, Nick Goen in the 5th position. Jason Fensler just went purple, 23.19 seconds, fastest lap of the race on lap 47. Hunting down Tristan Bailey, the gap is 0.7 of a second. Sam Taylor ran his fastest lap of the race so far. The number 1 Steel Chevy just went 23.63. Hagen Joyner with a 23.54. And these drivers, after that yellow, with tires 20 laps old, turning some of their quickest laps of the race so far. Tristan Bailey ahead by 8/10 on Jason Fensler. Further on back, one of a couple Canadians in tonight's race, Kelly Mellinson, sitting 23rd as the number 1 of Sam Taylor slaps the outside blue-striped wall of the Monster Mile. The Edmonton native in lucky number 13 position, the other Canadian, Tyler Tyone, in the fatal number 80 Toyota. The truck's not fatal, that's just what it says on the front of the truck, fatal. His old Xbox gamer tag is what he tells me, that is. And there's a car in the wall, one truck flying right up there, and there's a crash into turn number 1. Donovan Crone in the number 4 Bush Apple Tundra, getting into the 76 of Joe Nelson, who's been ruined. And now, there's contact right there, the 7-6 of Nelson. None too happy with the 4 of Crone. Caution number 4 flies on lap 52. Let's have a look with Donovan Crone and see what happened. Sammy Harrell in the 43 making contact with the 4. And there's the 4, unable to make contact, unable to keep the truck moving. Then he just goes right up the racetrack into the 7-6. Let's ride along with Joe Nelson. Look on the left-hand side. You'll see the 4. Absolutely nothing the 76 truck could do. Another look on board Donovan Crone. Sammy Harrell in the chat says, yeah, he got loose and I got him. Sorry about that. I think I had my mic muted for a minute. But multiple looks, multiple views. And Harrell saying he got loose and I got him. Let's ride on board Donovan Crone here and have a listen. And you can just hear the throttle just go a little bit limp on the number 4 Bush Apple Toyota. Tries to regain control of his truck. And unfortunately, the 76 of Joe Nelson was shot down in the crossfire, and that 7-6 will go down pit road for repairs. The 2-5 of Tristan Bailey still being scored as the leader. Speaking of leaders, points leader Jason Fensler sitting in position number 2, as it were. Let's have a quick word with Jason Fensler, see how he's feeling about his race so far. Jay Fensler, Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
About 3 hours behind the East Coast right now. It's just past dinner time in Elk Grove. How do you fancy your chances of getting win number 2 this season?
We got a pretty good truck. 25 is pretty quick. 50, I mean, there's a lot of quick trucks, so we're just kind of biding our time right now, trying to save some tires and see what happens at the end of it.
We're almost to the halfway point so far. You haven't pitted since lap 30. Some drivers saying that 40 to 50, possibly even 60 laps is how far these tires can go. But is it going to matter when you're not able to go more than 40 laps? Are you going to be saving the tires for the end with this yellow trend?
Yeah, I'm going to try and save. I got, 2 sets left, I believe. I'm going to try and save the 2 sets, at least one for inside of 30 to go. So we'll see how the cautions fall. I'll kind of determine when we're going to pit.
You're going to come into this race with a 6-point lead over that 2-5 truck to your inside. Is it more important to win or just come home in one piece?
Just get the best finish we can. We got a shot at winning, we'll go for it. If we don't, we'll take what we get.
Best of luck, Jason. Keep the shiny side up, buddy.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Fensler's going to go back to work, and so are we. If you've just tuned in, I'm Rick James. You're watching the American Elite Racing Trucks Series. We're going to complete lap 55 of 130 at the Dover Motor Speedway. The Monster Mile claims a couple more trucks, and we keep on pushing. Tristan Bailey with the control on the inside line. Jason Fensler to the outside. The 2-5 is known for these great jumps. There he goes again with the 5-3 in tow. Green flag is out. First lap so far so good. First lap after restart, that is. Lap 56 complete with Tristan Bailey as your race leader. Jason Fensler sitting in that second position while Jamie Haynes sitting in third. There's the 5 now chasing down that 2-5. Both of these drivers haven't pitted since lap 30, so these tires about 27 laps old. Special Ed said, Rick, you're forgetting the most important question of the night. That's my favorite. That does mean a thing. We'll bring that back here. Maybe I'm rushing through these driver interviews. We'll slow it down a bit, and we'll ask drivers more important things like favorite flavor of ice cream or favorite style of cheeseburger. I wonder if Kelly Melanson likes poutine. Maybe Tyler Tyone. Maybe that's a good question. Under the next yellow, that's a good idea. We're gonna ask Special Ed. That's a good question. If one of my favorite dishes, genuinely ever, is poutine. I don't know how you pronounce it, but anyway, it's kind of just like Canadian chili cheese fries. It's pretty fantastic. We're gonna ask Kelly Melanson and Tyler Tyone if that's just a regional thing, or if that's something that all of Canada does enjoy. For those of you that don't care, Tristan Bailey's leading this race. Jason Fensler is in second. Adam Boughton has been making his way through the field. The Mountain Dew Kickstart Tundra now chasing down Hagen Joyner for the 6th position. Bobby Mathis in that 2-9 H&M Motorsports Ford. He's ahead of Mike Carter. The Mahindra F-150 has Dylan Picklesmeyer in his rearview mirror, and Andrew Teft, who's up 15 places from where he started, rounds out the top 11 in his Thrustmaster Ford. Joe Nelson trying to make headway in that 7-6. He's gained a couple places, and he's looking to catch up to Patrick Jenks in that 3-8. These trucks separated by half a second. Nelson picking up from where he was left on the apron of turn number 1. Back to square one for Nelson. Started 24th, he's now in 23rd with just under 70 laps remaining. And we're almost to the halfway mark. Jason Fensler still within 0.3 of a second. Tyler Bellinger is up 22 places from where he started. He said he wasn't going to qualify, and it didn't hurt him one bit. With 4 yellows so far, the driver of the Quality Care Ford is able to make his way up to the 3rd position. He finds himself tied for 3rd in the AER point standings with Kevin Haas in that 1-9. Haas right now being scored 30th out of the race. Andrew Teft has made his way up to the top 10. He's gotten around Picklesmeyer in the 1-2 Ollie's Ford. Michael Carter now next for Teft. Carter goes high out of turn number 4. Robert Mathis is up ahead in the 2-9 Ford. He's up 10 places from where he started. Bellinger, however, in that 8-8. Although he's the hardest charger so far, not the fastest truck the last time around. Fastest lap went to Jamie Haynes in the 5-3. And the Advanced Chevrolet is making good headway, but you heard him under yellow. He said he's just trying to save his tires with all these cautions coming out. So the 5-3 going to play it a bit on the easy side while Jason Fensler goes on the attack on truck 2-5. Tristan Bailey, let's ride along with Fensler in the 5. He's bothering Bailey for first. It's been a nice race so far for these two. Jamie Haynes is 2.2 seconds behind in the 5-3 advanced truck, running a more conservative strategy for the sake of his good years. Andrew Teft momentarily losing his top 10 position. Sammy Harrell in the 4-3 goes to the inside of the 2-1 Thrustmaster machine. The 8 of Nick Goen winning round 2 at Atlanta, trying to make headway around the 2-9 of Robert Mathis. Mathis, who's up 10 places from where he started, opens the bottom lane to the 8 of Nick Goen. The GST Spider Machine goes to the inside, and Mathis is going to lose more than just 9th. There goes Sammy Harrell into the 9th position. Hagen Joyner now making way for the 8 of Nick Goen. And there goes the 8 almost around the 7. This is the fight for the 7th position. Goen really making use of those tires he got on lap 53. We'll see how far he makes them last. 72 laps are underway, and Tristan Bailey has run away with this race, quite frankly, but not without Jason Fensler close behind him. It's an all Chevrolet top 3. Further on back in this race, Donovan Crone, who was involved in that last accident, has been catching up, and he's made his way back into the top 15. Crone up 15 places from where he started, scrapes the turn 3 wall in an attempt to get a good entrance to turn number 3, but it doesn't seem to have phased him. He's now working on the 80 of Tyler Tyone. Let's ride along with Donovan Crone. Caution is out. Patrick Jenks has had a crash. The 38 Toyota Tundra slow. And the Dubby Tundra from Scranton, Pennsylvania, involved in a big accident there. Let's see what happened to Jenks on lap 72. Contact with the 7-6 of Joe Nelson, who seemingly just gets up and into the 3-8 of Jenks. Let's ride along with Joe Nelson and have a look. On board Patrick Jenks. How about a look from up top? Jenks, the black lidded truck on the outside. Let's have one more look on board Joe Nelson here. And that brings out the 5th caution of the evening. So Sammy Harrell is now being scored as our race leader in the STP Silverado. The Sumter South Carolinian sits ahead of Donovan Crone, who's now making his way down pit road. Tristan Bailey will not come down pit road. He'll make his way back into the top 3 with Jason Fensler behind him. 75 laps complete. We're well past the halfway mark. Let's see what Sammy Harrell is up to. Sam Harrell, Rick James, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's up?
You're leading the race 76 laps into this one. You're up 14 places from where you started. However, your tires are 22 laps older than everybody from second all the way down to 21st. What's your game plan?
I'm just going to hold on here. And I was off sequence from the beginning of the race, and I thought we was going to get some long green flag runs. So I'm still off sequence. I look for a caution within the next 20. I should be able to hang on to the top 15. I think they'll stay out. I'll come in, and hopefully it'll go green the rest of the way.
It's all downhill from here. Sam and Special Ed wants to know, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
That would have to be Moose.
All right, buddy. Keep the
Moose
shiny
tracks.
side up. Best of luck,
That's right.
man.
All right. Thank you.
We're going to let Sammy Harrell get back to work with Moose Ice Cream on the mind. Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 60 seconds with more truck racing from iRacing's Dover. About to throw the flag. Big jump from the 4-3 of Harrell. Let's go racing again from the Monster Mile. Bailey to the inside. Immediately, the 43 said he was going to try to hang on. There goes second. There goes third. In 2 corners, Harrell from first to fourth. The South Carolinian, indeed, doing his best to hold on. New leader Tristan Bailey has Jason Fensler right behind him. Bailey leads lap 78. Winless so far this season. Bailey sits second in the point standings. He's got a 7-digit lead over Kevin Haas and Tyler Bellinger behind him. 8 points, not 7. I can't do math correctly. Anyway, Adam Boughton has cracked the top 5 now. Boughton in that number 94 goes to the outside of Nick Goen. They're now just behind that 4-3 of Harrell as Jason Fensler goes purple for the second time tonight. 22.85 seconds. Fastest lap of the field thus far. Bobby Mathis in the 2-9 sits on the inside line as they almost go 3 wide between Mosley Jr. in that 89. There's Sammy Harrell on the outside, and there's the difference in 22 laps of tires. Everybody between Sam Harrell all the way down to, I believe, 23rd came down pit lane. Sam Harrell hoping for a caution, and it can't come soon enough. Dylan Picklesmeyer now into the top 10 in the 1-2. Ollie's Bargain Ford to the inside of Harrell now. The 2-1 of Andrew Teft. Tyler Tyone on the inside. Here comes Tyler Bellinger as well, who before that caution, he had climbed as high as third, up 22 places from where he started. Bellinger finds himself in 13th, trying to chase down Tyone for a spot in the top dozen. top two separated by half a second. Tristan Bailey ahead of Jason Fensler. Jamie Haynes sitting in third. Bought in fourth. Bobby Mathis rounding out the top 5. Rounding out your top 10 is Picklesmeyer. And there's a caution right there. Randy Lapidus in the 1-4. Nathan's Hot Dogs truck has had another crash. There goes the 1-4 of Lapidus. Smoking, overcooked, and just unhappy. Let's see what brought out caution number 6. There's Sammy Harrell in the 4-3, making contact with the 1-4 of Lapidus. Pirouettes everywhere for the 1-4. Who was that got into Lapidus? Was that the 3 of Mike Allen? It was indeed the Silver Fox Racing Chevy. Mike Allen getting into Lapidus. And let's have a look with Randy here. Coming off 4. Right along with Mike Allen. Let's have a look here with the 8-2 of Debbie Hutchins. Debbie Hutchins using quick thinking to avoid that one. Now let's have a look here with Sammy Harrell in the 4-3. Have a look on board the 4 of Donovan Crone. Was there any contact there between Crone and Mike Allen? Have one more look. There was indeed contact with Crone and Allen. That sent the 3 car right into the corner, and that's going to, well, that doesn't bring out the caution, but it's a piece of the caution, some of the collateral damage that brings out the 6th yellow of the evening. That's going to bring Adam Boughton into the top 5, the number 94 Susquehanna native, rocking in 4th in that Mountain Dew Kickstarter machine. Bobby Mathis in the number 29 H&M Motorsports Ford. He's sitting in 5th right now as well. Mobile, Alabama's Charlie Mosley Jr. sitting in that 6th position. Let's see if we can bother Charlie real quick. Charlie Mosley, Rick James, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I got you, buddy.
Sitting in 6th right now, buddy. You get to crack that top 5, but still plenty of racing to go. We're going to have just around 40 miles left. What's the tire situation looking like in that H&M Motorsports machine?
Actually, man, it's been pretty good. Just kind of been back here riding a little bit, taking it easy. Last pit stop, I was right there around 90, 92 on the right rear, 90 on the right front. Just trying to take it easy, run about 3/4 throttle, half throttle here. Trying to just hang with these fast front cars.
You got a chance to win. You got a chance to finish top 3. What's it looking like, man?
Hey, I'm going to give it everything I can. I tell you what, I still got 2 sets of tires left and a fast repair. I'll put it on the tow truck if I have to.
The fans want to know, Mr. Mosley Jr., what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Oh, man, like, have my big boys, so any of them.
Any of them. All right, buddy. Well, hopefully you get to celebrate with ice cream. Keep the shiny side up.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
We're all cheering for Charlie Mosley Jr., one of the most likable guys here. But don't tell him I said that. Tristan Bailey will have control of the field. Jason Fendler's on the outside in the number 5. Still plenty of racing to go. It'll be 42 laps remaining. Watch for that 2.5 to get this big jump coming to green. Waiting for that signal, waiting for the move. Will the 5-3 follow the 2.5? And he does. Green flag is out at the Monster Mile. Jason Fensler sitting in second, chasing down Tristan Bailey. He's there, but will he make the move? Jamie Haynes sits in third, while Adam Boughton and Bobby Mathis race side by side out of turn number 2. Mathis up 13 places from where he started sees Alabama's Charles Mosley Jr. to that inside line. He wants a piece of the top 5. 40 miles remain from Dover. Tyler Tyone and Kelly Mellenson sitting 12th and 14th. Tyler Bellinger, part of that United States sandwich, surrounded by a couple of Canadians in the top 15. Chris Fathke's made a great recovery in the 2.7 Ghostbuster Chevy. He's got Donovan Crone behind him in that 4. Fathke's been involved in a couple accidents tonight, but look at him up 8 places from where he started, making great headway in that 2.7. Further on back, Michael Newton in the 98. He's got a Cole Trickle move of the race tonight. And behind him is the 3.8 of Patrick Jenks, involved in a crash earlier, looking to make it into the top 20 this evening. Sammy Harrell in the 4.3 gets to the inside of Debbie Hutchins. She's sitting 19th ahead of Mike Newton in that 98. Jenks to his outside in the 3.8. All of these trucks incredibly close, fighting for every possible position, and so is Jason Fensler, relentless on the back end of Tristan Bailey, almost bump drafting down this front straight. Truck 2.5 ahead of truck number 5, Jamie Haynes in the 5.3, sitting in third, Boughton fourth, Robert Mathis rounding out the top 5. Is Fensler trying to pressure a mistake out of the 2.5? Is he just trying to honestly bump draft and get away from Jamie Haynes? It's 35 laps to go next time by. Andrew Teft in the 2-1 is chasing down Nick Goen. Teft wants to be a part of the top 10. Goen certainly has the long run truck tonight, but will the Atlanta native be able to get 2 wins in 3 races so far this season? Going up 7 places from where he started. Teft within 0.2 of the top 10. Sam Taylor in the number 1 Steel Chevy. Watching Sammy Harrell get to the inside of Donovan Crone. Crone, who's in 17th, will relinquish the position to Sam Taylor. Here comes the 16 of Dougie King, almost making it 3 wide. That's the 7-8 truck of Waylon Turner. He finds himself 1 lap off the pace, trying to be that first truck 1 lap down, get himself a free pass when that caution comes out. And there's a truck smoking on the way in. It's the 98 of Michael Newton. Newton is on the way in with damage. We stay green. What happened to Newton on lap 96? Let's try and run this back here. Have some sort of a look and see what happened to Mike. Even at a turn number 2, all the way through that front straight, just perhaps slow. There's the smoke. Here comes the incident. And look at this. Contact with the 3.8 of Jenks. Watch this. Oh, the 98 of Newton just slams the wall out of turn number 4. And there he goes doing barrel rolls. He's going to run this one back here and just have a look here. Let's ride along with Newton in the 98. Credit to Newton, he kept it moving, now getting his repairs in pit road. Adam Boughton sitting in that 4th position. Jamie Haynes just up ahead, and Jason Fensler closer now to Haynes than he was a few laps ago. Tristan Bailey enjoying a 1/4 of a second lead. He will lead lap 101, and we are inside the final 30. But who still has that magical set of tires? Jamie Haynes said he was waiting for inside 30 to go to put on his last set of tires. What about drivers like Andrew Teft? He's up 17 places from where he started. Last week's winner, Nick Gowen. He's up 9 places in the 8th position. Charlie Mosley Jr. a half second ahead. Hagen Joyner, who's half a second outside the top 5. Will they prefer track position inside the final 30? Or did everyone learn from Sammy Harrell, where tires might just be king depending on when the yellow comes out? If you've just recently tuned in, where have you been this whole time? But I'm so glad you're here. We're about to hit 25 laps to go, and these two trucks have been the darling of tonight's race. Tristan Bailey in the 2.5, Jason Fensler in that 5 truck, respectively. And there they're sitting nose to tail in the points, separated by just 6 markers. Jason Fensler with 89 points. Tristan Bailey with 83, both comfortably above the top 12 cut line. Those top 12 trucks will make it to the playoffs in late July, early August, and it's going to be a wonderful chase to the finish. But for now, we've got to finish this 3rd round of racing. Tristan Bailey leads lap 105, and it's 25 miles to go from the Monster Mile. Robert Mathis rounding out the top 5. There goes Nick Gowen to the inside of Hagen Joyner. Gowen has been on the move, and that long run truck is finally coming into its own. Will a late race caution throw a wrench into Gowen's plans? Mathis, how will he defend? Here comes the attack from the 8 truck. 24 laps to go. Gowen just making it look easy, dives down to that inside line. The 2-1 of Andrew Teft to the inside of Hagen Joyner. Teft moves into 7th. Gowen moves into 5th, and he's up 12 places since the green flag flew. Harrell to the inside of Mosley Jr. That's for 10th, and the STP Chevrolet making great headway with 23 miles remaining. Chris Fathke still in the top 15. Good recovery for the Ghostbusters Chevrolet. Behind him, Sam Taylor, Kelly Mellenson, Debbie Hutchins running 17th, 16th for Mellenson, and Hutchins sitting in 18th. Debbie up 10 places from her original starting position. At the front, Tristan Bailey has a half-second lead as Sam Taylor goes to the inside of Kelly Mellenson. There's Mellenson into the wall. Mellenson trying to save a top 20 position. Right now in 17th, Hutchins catching up. Crone only 6/10 behind Debbie Hutchins. Patrick Jenks running in the 20th position. Mellenson to the outside. Hutchins to the inside. Mellenson leaving all the room. And Hutchins moves into the 17th position. She's up 11 places. There's Teft getting around the 2.9 of Mathis, who's losing ground. Hagen Joyner now side by side with Sammy Harrell out of turn number 4. It's 2-0 to go, and we're going to have 1-9 at the line. Tristan Bailey leading Jason Fensler, who's hanging the tail out of turn number 4. There's Harrell in the 43 with a mirror full of Hagen Joyner in the number 7. Both of these trucks converging down on Harris. There's the 2-1. That's Andrew Teft. He's in 6th position, up 20 places from where he started. That 7-6 of Joe Nelson finds himself in 23rd, 3 laps down. Nelson kindly getting out of the way of some of his competitors as the field blasts by out of the second corner. Charlie Mosley Jr. in the 8-9 looking to crack that top 10, but it's Tyler Bellinger in the double 8 Quality Care Ford now working on Hagen Joyner for 9th. So Mosley's going to have to latch on to one of the fastest trucks all night, but does he have enough time? It'll be 17 laps to go as Tristan Bailey pulls away from Jason Fensler, but is Fensler really out of tires, or is he just saving his stuff for what he predicts could be the final restart? Jamie Haynes could be in that same boat coming to 16 laps remaining. Bellinger sandwiched between the 7 of Hagen Joyner and the 8-9 of Mosley Jr. Dougie King finds himself in 20th, a couple of laps off the pace. The 6er Chevrolet last pitted on lap 84, and his tires 9 laps fresher than that of Mosley Jr. He's able to hang and hang well. If we do get a couple of late race cautions, it will be to King's benefit. Patrick Jenks right now, the first truck, 1 lap down. He's being scored in 18th. He's got Donovan Crone behind him. Both of these trucks fighting to be the first car. 1 lap down. Crone making contact with the outside wall out of turn 4. Jenks having to make way for the 5 of Fensler after making way for race leader Tristan Bailey. That's going to put Jenks that 1 lap down, but he's really trying to get it back. There's Jamie Haynes, who's sitting in 3rd. Lucky number, 13 laps to go next time by. We've had 6 cautions so far. Will a 7th bunch the field back up for a restart inside the final 10 laps? Tristan Bailey has opened his biggest lead of the night, almost 1 second over Jason Fensler. And the 2-3 of Kelly Mellinson comes down pit road for some repairs. Possibly for a late race adjustment here, maybe trying to go for a fast lap. Jamie Haynes still in 3rd, but Nick Gowen is closing that gap. He's now inside 9/10 of a second, and Sammy Harrell closing the gap to the 2-9 of Robert Mathis. 9 laps the difference between these two. Harrell looking for 7th place from the 2-9. Mosley Jr. still sticking with Bellinger on the fringes of the top 10. Hagen Joyner half a second ahead of Tyler Bellinger in 9th. There's Mathis making way for Harrell in the 43. But Harrell can't make it stick quite yet out of turn number 2. Will Mathis go for the crossover? Mathis has the momentum out of 2, but he just can't carry it into 3. Harrell gets away with the pass for 7th place. The 3-8 of Patrick Jenks making way for the 5-3 of Jamie Haynes and the 8 of Nick Gowen in the GST truck. Gowen within a quarter of a second to Jamie Haynes coming to 10 laps to go. Gowen wants a piece of the podium. He's only 3 seconds behind Jason Fensler, but with 9 laps to go next time by, will it be enough to even make a dent to the top 2 now that lap traffic has come into play? Tristan Bailey in the 2-5, winless so far this season, and only 6 points behind Jason Fensler in the lead at the top of the points tree. Bailey looking to get his first W this season. Jason Fensler and Nick Gowen, your other 2 winners in this AER Trucks Series. Fensler 0.8 of a second behind Tristan Bailey and slowly but surely catching up, but will it be enough? 8 laps to go, and Nick Gowen's now within 2.7 seconds to second place Jason Fensler. Over the last 5 laps, Gowen consistently quicker than Fensler. This last time around, almost 0.2 of a second quicker, but will it be enough in the dying embers of round number 3? Dylan Picklesmeyer in the 12, side by side with Chris Fathke. That's the pass for the 14th position. Fathke making it around the 12. There's the 7-6 of Joe Nelson making way for this 14th place battle. Robert Mathis still holding on to 8th as Hagen Joyner catches up to the back end of that 2-9. It will be 6 laps to go next time by. Every driver fighting for every last point they can make up. It's been a tough race so far. Certainly not an easy track to get a rhythm. And of course, a lot of good trucks involved in some accidents tonight. The 12 of Picklesmeyer. Will he stay in front of the 8 of Goen? Goen in that 8 truck is sitting in third, trying to get around and get to Jason Fensler. Goen not impeded by the 12 of Picklesmeyer. Fathke next on the list, but Fensler finds himself 3 1/3 seconds ahead of Goen, coming to 4 laps to go next time by. Tristan Bailey with a controlling 0.8 of a second gap at the top of the running order, but will the dreaded caution flag come out and ruin his race day victory plans? There goes Fathke to the inside of Picklesmeyer, trying to take 14th place once again. Fathke to the inside of that 1-2 Ollie's truck. Bobby Mathis trying to hold off the attack from Hagen Joyner for the 9th position. Charlie Mosley in 10th. The 1-6 of Doug King sitting in 20th. Just tagging along and watching this thrilling battle for the top 10 spot. There goes Mosley Jr. to the outside of Hagen Joyner. But he just can't make it stick. 2 laps to go next time by. Fathke gets around Picklesmeyer, but what response will the 1-2 have for the 2-7? Sends it in deep into turn number 1. And Picklesmeyer will float up the track, but he makes considerable gain on the 2-7. Tristan Bailey, coming to 2 laps to go, goes to the inside of Tyler Tyone. There's contact! Contact! Everybody clenching hard, holding their breath. 0.6 of a second left, and Bailey just barely escaping with this lead. White flag is out. Next time by, Fensler on the offensive now. 0.4 of a second, the gap between them. 1 more mile when Bailey crosses the line. Hagen Joyner, Charlie Mosley Jr., Robert Mathis separated by less than 0.2 of a second. Patrick Jenks trying to catch up to Sam Taylor with white flag in the air. One last attack for Jason Fensler into turn number 3. The gap is too large for the 5 truck descendant. Patrick Jenks crashes on the last lap, but it won't make a difference now. Winless no longer. Tristan Bailey gets the win at Dover. Andrew Teft trying to get to the inside of Sam Harrell and does so successfully for the 6th position, but can he make it stick? No. Teft gets 6th. Hagen Joyner to the inside. Look at that cluster there. Hagen Joyner in 9th. Robert Mathis 8th. Hagen Joyner 9th. Charlie Mosley Jr. finishing in 10th. And there's your race winner, Tristan Bailey. The Missouri driver in the Chevy Goods Silverado gets the job done. And what a way to get that win. Jamie Haynes will join him and we'll go let the driver celebrate, and we'll go on from there. Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to have top 3 interviews in just a moment. On the podium now with our top three, starting with the driver of the number 8 GST Spider Silverado. Couldn't make it 2 wins in a row, Nick, but you did go for 2 consecutive podiums. That's going to do wonderful for your points.
Yeah, feeling pretty good about it. I don't think I was the fastest truck on the track tonight, so tried to use strategy to my advantage, but it just didn't really work out for me. That last run, I only had 1 set left, and I didn't want to burn them up too quickly in case we had a a caution 10 laps later. But I took it easy, lost some track position at the start, but I was able to make places up there towards the end, so I can't complain about a third.
Unofficially, you are now 9th in the point standings. We'll see you in 7 days from Homestead, Miami.
Awesome, thank you.
Second place driver of that number 5 big red fire engine Chevrolet Silverado, the Fensler Racing entry. Jason Fensler, you finished second today behind a very tough Tristan Bailey. What more could you have done to get the W?
He was pretty quick. It was just going to take a mistake, honestly, for us to get the spot. Lap cars cost a little bit of time there on that long run, but it was kind of a seesaw anyway. He was getting caught up too. So, like I said earlier in the race, just take what we can get, second place, and we'll go to the next one.
1 week from now, Homestead, Miami, you're going to go for 2 wins in 4 starts. Unofficially, you are tied for the points lead with Tristan Bailey. You're 29 points ahead of third place Adam Boughton. What does that mean for you 7 days from now?
Oh, it's a long season. Just get the best finishes you can, and if we can get wins, that's a bonus. So, of course, we go into every race trying to win. So that's what we'll try and do next week at Homestead.
Congratulations on the silver medal. We'll see you in a week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Our race winner tonight, driver of the number 25 ChevyGoods.com Silverado with his first win this season. Tristan, 3 races in and you finally got the W. You have a share of the points lead headed into Homestead, Miami next week. Does that shape your strategy for the 1.5 mile oval?
Me and Miami, we have a love-hate relationship, so we'll just have to see how it goes. Hopefully I just don't spin on the first lap like I did at ARCA race last night, but we'll just have to see how it goes. I was very fortunate tonight, you know. I did not mean to tap the 5 in the left rear quarter panel and 3 and 4 when I was underneath them. I went to hit the brakes and back out of it, and when I tapped them, I slowly got on the brakes so I didn't hit them anymore. We just kept it going. Other than that, just I don't know, I was kind of surprised, honestly. I was surprised with my pole lap. I didn't think I was gonna get pole. That was a surprise to me. But oh no, it was a pretty good race. Happy for it. You know, glad that we finally got a good long green flag run in at the end there. Cause 2 more laps, I wouldn't have. Maybe 3 more laps, probably wouldn't be able to finish. So it's a good race all in all. You know, can't complain, man.
You've got the win, and you're going to go for 2 wins in a row next week at Homestead, Miami. Congratulations tonight.
Thank you, man.
Fans at home, that's going to do it for us tonight. A 3rd round of AER truck racing is in the books. And once again, 7 nights from now, we're going to take the trucks to the Homestead Miami Speedway for round number 4. And this Thursday, the Thursday Night Thunder ARCA Series will be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, so tune in for that. And until that next race, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we will